Lesson 8. Sign language made simple. The law says he must pay 8% interest. The law, the L, law says he must pay. Pay. Just index finger in your palm. Pay. 8%. Just a zero and make a percent. Percent. Interest. I. Just make like a 7. Interest. The law says he must pay 8% interest. The law says he must pay 8% interest. Next sentence. My aunt and uncle have saved enough money for their vacation. My aunt and uncle, so A is for the feminine, aunt and uncle have saved. Saved, the V on the back of your hand, like reserved or saved. Saved. Now this is saved like in a religious setting, like Jesus saves you, saves. This is like reserved or saved money. Saved. Enough. 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 I just have my fist, the top, and push it out. Enough. 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 Now if you start out and come over it, that's full. Full. Enough. Enough. So I have my cup is full and that's enough. Let's see, the sentence is, my aunt and uncle have saved enough money for their vacation. So my aunt and uncle have saved enough money for their vacation. I'm just using the 5 hands right here kind of at your shoulders. Vacation, kind of like relax. I'm on vacation, and sometimes you can wiggle your fingers. Vacation. My aunt and uncle have saved enough money for their vacation. My aunt and uncle have saved enough money for their vacation. Next sentence. My cousin lives in Michigan. My cousin. So uncle and him and he and his, masculine. Feminine is she, her, aunt. Cousins in the middle. Unless you know it's a boy cousin or a girl cousin. If you don't know, my cousin, let's put it in the middle. My cousin lives in Michigan. Lives, just the L hand, lives in Michigan, M-I-C-H. Or you can spell the whole thing, Michigan. My cousin lives in Michigan. Next sentence. I have 12 nieces and nephews. I have 12 nieces and nephews. I'm just doing the N. I have 12 nieces, see the N, nieces and nephews. Next sentence. Both my grandmother and grandfather are dead. Both. 2 into 1. Both. Both. This is also the sign for couple, like man and woman together as a couple. 2 into 1. Both. Both my grandmother and grandfather. This is like the generations. As you go out, it's the generations. Mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, grandfather, father, grandfather, great-grandfather. Also, grandmother could be mother with another hand here. It's talking about 2 generations. And grandfather, 2 generations, father, grandfather. Or you can just do the movement out to show the next generation. Are dead. Dead. Both my grandmother and grandfather are dead. Both my grandmother and grandfather are dead. I enjoy a salad made with grapes, pears, and peaches. I enjoy a salad. It's like V fingers, like forks, like you're tossing it. Salad, or you could spell it. Salad, made, just 2 fists, made, with grapes, like this is the bunch and they're hanging, grapes, pears, it's kind of like a pear, you know, is narrow at the top and gets wider at the bottom. It's kind of like this is the wide part and it gets more narrow, pears, and peaches, just like rubbing the fuzz on your face, peaches. Again, I enjoy a salad made with grapes, pears, and peaches. I enjoy a salad made with grapes, pears, and peaches. His nephew is a Quaker. His nephew is a Quaker. And then you're rubbing your hands. Now, Quaker could also be, you know, like a denomination, I guess, Quaker. So Quaker, you just put your hands together and turn your thumbs, twiddle your thumbs. Seems like an odd sentence, but his nephew is a Quaker. His nephew is a Quaker. Next sentence. He came from France. He came from France. He came from France. Kind of start out with the F and then just come in. France. France. My neighbor is a close friend of mine. My neighbor. Neighbor. This is near. Near person. Neighbor. Near person. My neighbor is a close. Same thing as near. A close. Neighbor is a close friend of mine. Neighbor, near person, close friend of mine. Next sentence. I make it a habit never to have any enemies. I make it a habit. Mind bound. Habit. 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 Never. I'm just making a kind of like a question mark without the dot with my open hand. Never. Never. Never to have any enemies. Apart people. Apart people. Enemies. 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 I make it a habit never to have any enemies. Yesterday was a beautiful day. Yesterday was a beautiful Beautiful. Just circle and open up. Beautiful day. Yesterday was a beautiful day. Next sentence. I think the picture is ugly. I think the picture is ugly. I think picture is like you see it with your eye, but you're going to put it on paper. Picture is ugly. Ugly. Index fingers in front of you and just turn into X as you pull away. Ugly. Ugly. I think the picture is ugly. Of course, use your expression. Next sentence. He is a real gentleman and his wife a fine lady. He is a real, with an R. Remember, this is sure or true. Real. Real, with an R. Real gentleman, same thing as man. Touch the cap, come down. Gentleman. And his wife, girl together, wife, a fine lady. Fine, just like, how are you? I'm fine. Same thing. Fine with a 5 hand. Fine lady. Next sentence. Their parents came from Canada. Their, just like their, parents, the P from the top and the bottom, masculine and feminine. Parents, it's kind of hard to do this way. Parents came from Canada. Now this is just a fist, A. It's kind of like on your lapel. Canada. Just move it up and down a couple times. Canada. Their parents came from Canada. Their parents came from Canada. Next sentence. They both come from good families. So they, T-Y, they, both, remember 2 into 1, both. This is also a couple. Both, 2 into 1. They both came from good families. They both came from good, F around in a circle. Remember, this is a group and you're initializing it with the F. Families. Families. They both came from good families. Next sentence. I understand that she was their only child. I understand that she was their only child. Only. Only. I'm going from right to left in a small circle. Only. 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 If you make it bigger, a bigger circle, it's always. Only, only, and always, 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 only, only. I understand that she was their only child. I understand that she was their only child, or one hand child. Next sentence. They stayed after the bell rang. They stayed after bell rang. They stayed. Just do thumbs, put them together and push them out. Stayed after. 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 After the bell. Bell. So I'm starting with my fist. I'm hitting it and kind of coming out. Bell, bell, bell. So it's like the bell is making a sound. Bell, 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 rang, rang. Just my index finger, rang. And just kind of move it a little bit. They stayed after the bell rang. So they stayed after bell rang, rang. Next sentence. Most of the people left as soon as the meeting was over. Most. Most. More. Most. Most of the people, P's, people, left, left, as soon, soon, just you fingers on top of each other, like name, but move them this way is soon, soon, soon. Name and soon, as, this is also when, as the meeting, a lot of people coming together, meeting, was over, was finished, over, is finished. Most of the people left as soon as the meeting was over. Most of the people left as soon as the meeting was over. Next sentence. Be sure your hands and face are clean. Be sure. Sure. Now we just learned a while ago with the R is real. This is sure. Be sure your hands, just kind of mimic your hands and face, just point to your face, are clean. Clean. Like you're wiping anything off your hands. Clean. Be sure your hands and face are clean. Be sure your hands and face are clean. Last sentence. Last week your feet were dirty. Last week, I've just got my index finger and like this is the calendar. Week, 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 week. Last week, your feet, you're just pointing to each foot, feet, W-R, were dirty, dirty. This is also the sign for pig, dirty. Last week, your feet were dirty. Last week, your feet were dirty. And that completes lesson 8.